YouTube. So this is the PC I have in my bedroom. I mainly use it as a media PC, so I run Kodi on here, and this is an ASUS all-in-one PC. So it's got the PC here in the base, and then it also has this 18-inch removable display that can either do Windows display via basically a remote desktop kind of connection, or you can run Android on here, although it's a pretty old version of Android, I think 4.4 or something like that. I think I bought this in 2012, so it's about 9 years old, and it's an Intel Core i3 processor. Not terribly fast, but for a media PC it works really well. It's got fairly decent sound with the built-in speakers, 18-inch display. And one of the reasons I bought it was it has an external power supply. So this basically is set up like a laptop, more or less. It has an external supply, 19.5 volts, and they shipped it with a 9 amp power supply, but I found this doesn't really go much over maybe 35, 40 watts. So you really don't need a 200 watt supply. This supply is just like your typical laptop, has just a coaxial kind of plug like that, and you plug the other end into the wall. Well, many years ago I picked up this 12 volt car adapter. So this is a Pwr Plus model here, model D4C, if you can see that there. And it's a 19.5 volt, 4.6 amp car adapter, and as you can see, it's got a blue light on. So this morning I finally finished running the 12 volt power in here. So I'm powering this off my solar battery bank off the 12 volt system, and that's plugged into 12 volts, and then that's plugged in over here. And so I've got my media PC. This thing is now totally off grid. Let's see, this thing uses about 30 milliamps on 12 volts at standby. Although I usually leave this PC in sleep mode, and I'm intending now to just leave this on 12 volt power all the time. So this thing is now off grid. I've got a Windows Media Center remote here, so I can flip over and like tune the live TV there. Live TV, this is coming from my Synology NAS, so let's see, yeah, usually what I do then is I'm just going to put it back to sleep. Normally I leave it in sleep mode, which should use just a couple of watts of power. Yeah, so this is the spreadsheet I use to track various AC and DC energy consumption around the house. Right here is where I took the bedroom PC off grid, basically, and that was about the middle of August. And so you can see here, this is again my DC power. So I was using 55, there's maybe 54, 55, 56 kilowatt hours of DC. This is my 12 volt DC system. And then in August it went up to 59, and actually in September it went up to 65 kilowatt hours of direct DC energy. Likewise, you can see here the utility power. Let's see, here in August, 239 kilowatt hours, where in July it was 246, 242 in June, 264 in May, and yet from August and September I went to 239, 242. September it starts to go up again because the sun hours and the sun angle drop a little bit in the sky. But you can see there I'm basically using roughly 5-6 kilowatt hours a month more DC power, and probably using about that much less AC power. I think we're good to go. We've got an off-grid media PC, and it's now running on solar power. So hope you enjoyed that, and as always, thanks for watching. See ya.